So today I'm going to do a video on my Goth and Industrial CD collection. I'm sure some people might be wondering why I'm combining two genres in this video. Well, during the context of the time, the sources where I was finding out about this music, it was the same sources mostly for Goth and Industrial. They're both played at the same clubs. And there is the same stores I would get these in. They'd always be like hidden in the back, or I'd have to order them online. So it feels logical for me to like group them together. And also there's kind of a moderate amount of overlap between people who like both genres, and I figure it's simpler just to make one video and try to appeal to a wider range of people. So I have two piles here. Got my high school pile and my early college pile. So pretty much most of these CDs come from roughly from 2006 to 2010. Since after 2010, I kind of really slowed down on the CD purchasing. I have a few ones that are actually pretty new, at least in my hands. They are not in these two piles. I will bring them up though. They're just hidden down here. So without further ado, I'm going to start going through them. I'm going to go in chronological order and give a bit of context behind each CD. So the first one I have up here is Skinny Puppy, The Greater Wrong of the Right. So this was the new Skinny Puppy album back when I first discovered the band. So originally I kind of learned about the band through the internet mostly. I also had one comic book where Nivek Ogre, the singer of the band, kind of wrote a foreword for it, and it was pretty well written. It kind of made me extra intrigued. It's I gotta check this band out. So I eventually did. I tried downloading a few songs off the internet. I had dial-up. It took 8 hours for all the songs. 8 songs, 8 hours. That did not go well. But I got 2 songs, Deep Down, Trauma Hounds, and The Killing Game, because those just sounded like the coolest names to click on at the time. And I really liked them. And I was I gotta get more of this. But not having a credit card, it's not like I could easily just order stuff online. And dial-up wasn't gonna work for buying stuff. So when I finally found this in a Borders, I just jumped on it immediately. I already had the Skinny Puppy shirt and everything, and now I could not be embarrassed to have the t-shirt without having the full album. Because there was my 11th grade math class, I had my Skinny Puppy shirt. Girl in front of me is all oh wow, you're into Skinny Puppy, I totally respect you. I'm yeah, I'm kind of new to them still. I only know a few songs, and I'm slight bit of embarrassment down in there. And this kind of helped a little bit, even though I really didn't talk to the person in front of me in math class at all. So it's not I mentioned I got this CD. I kind of mostly kept to myself. Kind of regret that. Could have had someone to talk to, but anyway, I was really excited to find this. I know some people kind of will say it's when they started to go downhill or don't like it because it's different. But I kind of like the direction of newer Skinny Puppy. It's different from their old stuff, but that's good because every other electro-industrial band draws so much from Skinny Puppy. We don't really need more old Skinny Puppy. There's plenty of other bands playing in that style. Of course, this was not the only thing I found at Borders that day. Because I got a lot of these at Borders. Borders was just the place where they would have Goth and Industrial CDs usually hidden in the back. I also got Killing Joke Pandemonium. So again, one of their later albums. This one's from 1994. It was when they were kind of in their heavier phase. But it's got some other great tracks too. Few ones that are calmer, Black Moon's one of my favorite ones off this. And if you're more into goth stuff and you had to pick one song off this album, I would just say take Black Moon and you can pass the rest unless you like the harder stuff. There's a few other interesting ones too. I really love Communion. So yeah, I was excited to get this one as well. There are a few other CDs I saw there. I think I saw Cleopatra compilation, and there's a Switchblade Symphony live CD. I didn't end up getting those because I didn't have a lot of money growing up, allowance wise. I mean, it wasn't terrible or anything, but when you're only getting $20 a month, 2 CDs is your month's allowance. So I just stuck with the 2. I wanted to come back and get that Switchblade Symphony CD. It was gone. which kind of like sucked. So yeah, like these were like kind of the first two, my like real intro to stuff. Soon after though, I definitely had to get more Skinny Puppy. I wanted to like try some of their older stuff too, so I got Too Dark Park. I heard this one was like their best one, so I decided I should go with this one. And like, I really love this one too. Definitely had like more of like the classic Skinny Puppy sound. I used to listen to this a lot when I was playing Doom. It just like felt like good background music to that. And this is one of the ones, again, I like ordered online. I had to like get my parents to like use their credit card to get it, because at like 16 I didn't have a credit card. I don't know if 16-year-olds today have credit cards, but that wasn't common when I was younger. So yeah, this is like what really solidified me as really being into Skinny Puppy and made me want to like check out lots more stuff. So the next three I all got at the same time as well, again like online. First one was Sisters of Mercy Floodland, because like I heard on the internet again this was like really good album. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try this one out. I'd already heard Sisters of Mercy before briefly, like because my parents like had the satellite TV, which technically had the satellite radio on it as long as you like listen to it through the TV, and they played this Corrosion once and I was like instantly hooked, because like that guitar sounds like a harpsichord. I love harpsichords. So yeah, this one, this was like a little bit of a paradigm shift. This is like the first real proper goth record I got. But I got into it like pretty quick, honestly. Dominion, I was like so-so first on originally, but once it hit to Flood, I loved Flood 1, loved Lucretia, My Reflection, 1959, most of the rest of the ones I kind of liked a lot, except for maybe not like Driven by the Snow that much. That was another one that had to grow on me. But yeah, I really love this album too. I also got like 2 industrial albums with it. So I got KMFDM How Ruck. It was their new album out at the time. So this is like later era KMFDM, which like post 2000. So kind of the reason I want to like clarify that is because post 2000 it's mostly a different lineup. I think Sasha's the only original member left. Technically they were like broke up for a very short amount of time and they formed a band called MDFMK. It had like, I think all the same members as this, or most of them. I don't know why they just kept MDFMK or just called themselves KMFDM originally, because I don't really hear that big of a difference between the two, but whatever. Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's not like super hard or anything. There's like a lot of like, I don't want to say, kind of calm vocals a lot of the time with Lucia's vocals. There's like a lot of mellow songs. I mean, like mellow for KMFDM. It's still gonna be like in like the hard rock category and like radio or whatever. So yeah, this one was pretty good, even if it's not like them at their best. Not a bad album. Okay, and I also got finally Chem Lab, Burnout at the Hydrogen Bar. So again, something I heard about on the internet. It sounded cool, and I like had to have it. And I really liked this one. This one was probably my favorite of the 3. Kind of liked the combination of like the synths and the guitars. It like had a good balance. So it's sort of industrial rock. Like at the time it was called Cold Wave, not like French Cold Wave, the American Cold Wave. People definitely do use that. It's not something I learned on the internet only. I've talked to people in real life that call it Cold Wave, so I'm not like crazy or anything. But yeah, Cold Wave seems to be kind of like a term for industrial rock that's more like synth focused. It's not like a rock music with like synthesizers in the background like a lot of the mainstream stuff like Stabbing Westward is. There's definitely like a little bit more of a synth driven sound. At least some of the songs on this, others are like harder. So this is actually like a lot harder than KMFDM overall, more aggressive. It's got like a cyberpunk theme to it. Really love this one. I remember like early on in my senior year of high school, my parents got me like this intro acid music software or whatever, and my goal of like messing with that is like, can I get this to sound kind of like Chem Lab? And this ended up like being an important record to me too, because way later on, when I was like kind of really starting to go out to events heavily, I went to a Chem Lab show, and I met quite a few people there, some of them which are like really close friends of mine now, so extra special memories for this one. Okay, so my next two again I got at Borders at the same time, and as you'll notice, like a lot of my CDs have been purchased in clusters. So this one is Bauhaus Crackle, so it's greatest hits. I generally try to avoid greatest hits, but when you're like, again, when these CDs are hard to come by in general, you just pick up whatever you see, and you don't really care what it is. You don't care if it's a live album, a greatest hits, or what. You just like snap it up, because I'm like worried it's going to be gone. So yeah, it's a good intro to their work. It's got a good variety of songs. You got like your more typical well-known stuff. But surprisingly, in the greatest hits, there's some stuff that doesn't get played in the clubs that much either. Like, for example, you're not going to hear crowds or mask in the clubs quite as often. I really like the variety on this. This is one of the albums that made me want to play guitar. Remember, first day, senior year of high school, I just like had in a flat field, just like playing in my head, like repeat nonstop. Which, it's only notable because like first day, new day of school, you're already nervous and you got like that going on in your head, like you're just feeling it. I don't really know how to put that into words. I also got this My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult compilation called My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult. So for the longest time, I was confused about this. I was like, I never heard anyone talk about it. I was like, what is this? But apparently this was based off of a more popular compilation of their earlier albums that everyone else got. Only this one has more stuff on it. So I guess I got a good deal there. I got like most of like their good stuff from the early years. So My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult's kind of a little bit difficult to explain for people who haven't heard them. It's like industrial, but it's kind of like much more dance focused, and it's like really focused on like the B-movie samples and everything. Like there's one song on here, Shock Point 6. I'm pretty sure that samples a Johnny Quest Pterodactyls, and I just love it. So yeah, this is definitely more on the dance side, but like not in like a modern dance kind of way. It's kind of more stripped down. Really like this one a lot too. Also later, like pretty much like Chem Lab and KMFDM for that matter, I got to see My Life with Thrill Kill Cult way later on. And they were like playing mostly all the songs off this, so it was like super exciting and I was like loving it. Even though it was like a cold day, I hated the venue, but the band was great. Okay. So next two again were online purchases. So since at that time Skinny Puppy was like my favorite band, I had like to like get the newest one too. So I got Mythmaker. So it's kind of like Right or Wrong or the Right. It's a little bit more towards industrial again compared to Great or Wrong or the Right. It's like slightly more busy sound. I really liked this one too. I'm not sure really much what more I can say about it though, since I've already like talked about two other Skinny Puppy albums. I also got with it Cruise Shadow's Dream Cipher, and I'm sure some people are just gonna like think this is hilarious. So at the time they were like pretty popular. They actually had a #2 hit song from this album. Like it only got beat out by High School Musical, Billboard Top 40 charts, #2 hit song, #1 on the Hot Dance singles. It got above Beyonce. And I love that fact because like no one was really listening to this, so it's like I guess it's more of a demonstration of how irrelevant singles were by that time. So yeah, I got it because it was like being recommended on Amazon right next to a Skinny Puppy album, so I was like, okay, I'll give this one a try too. It's got like a fairy on the cover. Fairies are cool, I'll get this. So yeah, the music, it's kind of cheesy. Especially this one, it's like at their height of like their really danceable stuff with like the violins and the guitars. It's kind of a little bit of a guilty pleasure, but like there's a certain level of cheese and camp that's just wonderful. And like I've seen Cruise Shadows live too, and that is very much in their live shows too. Like the singer will just like go into the audience and go up to me and like start singing next to me. That happened, or start river dancing with someone. So they do put on a good show, I guess, too. But yeah, overall I do like this one, even if it's what some people might consider a little embarrassing. After that, I again got another Skinny Puppy CD. I got Rabies. And yeah, a lot of these are cracked because I've like had these forever. And these jewel cases, they break if you look at them funny. So yeah, Rabies is kind of the one with Al Jorgensen collaborated with Skinny Puppy on. So it's supposed to be like their more metal album. But that's only like 2 songs. It's really not that different from their other stuff. But like Tin Omen, which is like one of their guitar-focused songs, that's like really hard shit. Yeah, again, not much to say about this because I've already like talked about Skinny Puppy a few times. And for another like one I got at Borders, Android Lust, Devour, Rinse, and Take Flight. So pretty much I knew about this one, it said Project on the back. So pretty much back in the day when there were like record labels, you know this record label puts out like a lot of Goth or Industrial stuff, so that would be like a good sign, oh, maybe I should get this, because I know the record label, it kind of curates the stuff for me, so I know it's good. Also, I actually like heard this band name dropped, like it was like Washington Post back in like 2006 or whatever, they were like had an article about Goth Beauty magazine, and like one of the bands mentioned was Android Lust. So like I knew the name too, so I decided to check this one out. And I like this one a lot. Android Lust is industrial. It's very different from like other bands. I guess the most comparable band is like 9 Inch Nails, but it's not that much like 9 Inch Nails either, other than like it's mainly one person. This one's kind of, it's got like a sterile looking cover kind of, and it's kind of got like almost a sterile cold sound to it that's kind of really unique. I just like really like this one, even if not all the songs on their own are amazing. Like as a total atmosphere of this overall is great. I like Android Lust a lot. They've done like a lot of good stuff. Okay, this one I actually got out of all places Hot Topic. So I never really shopped at Hot Topic much, but at one point I learned they had CDs, and you could go there. You could like get the new Cruise Shadows singles there, so I'm wondering if Hot Topic was the reason Cruise Shadows went to number 2. But yeah, they would have a few different compilation discs too, like Asleep by Dawn had a compilation disc, all the Metropolis samplers, they had them there, and they had this swampscott CD. There's nothing particularly special about this swampscott CD over other ones. This was just the one that was new. So yeah, when I got this one, I actually didn't get to listen to it as much when I first got it as I would have hoped, because both my CD player wasn't working and my like little like tiny MP3 player wasn't working, and like I couldn't like really even listen to this, and that was kind of like making me sad. And there were like all sorts of problems, so I didn't really get to listening to this until early college when I finally got a new MP3 player and was able to download it and like get stuff to work. But yeah, it's kind of like gloomy, dark, electro-industrial. Vaguely Skinny Puppy-esque. Okay, and here's one last one before I move on to my university ones. So this one is Switchblade Symphony, Serpentine Gallery. So this one, again, I got online. It's kind of like the deluxe edition. So Switchblade Symphony was like one of the very first bands I learned about off the internet, because they were like big in the 90s. They stayed big in the 2000s. A lot of 90s bands kind of fell off by the 2000s a little bit. Switchblade Symphony was just like one of the big names, period. So I definitely wanted to check this out. And I kind of like how it's a digipack, so like it does not break. Some people complain about digipacks, like, oh, I don't want cardboard, but honestly they're more durable as long as you like take good care of them. Mine are kind of scuffed up. And yeah, it came with 2 discs. It came with Serpentine Gallery, and it came with a bonus disc of some of their early EP stuff, 2 outtakes from their last album, and like a radio interview. So it was cool to like have a radio interview to hear what they sounded like and know what they were all about, because you didn't really get that too much. At least I didn't, because it's not like they had this stuff on TV, and YouTube wasn't that much of a thing yet. It was like pretty new then. And it was like kind of surprising actually, because they kind of like look like this, but they kind of sounded like Valley Girls when they were talking, and it was like, I found that kind of amusing. Okay, so this video is all 20 minutes long now, so I'm going to stop recording this, and I'm going to do a part 2 for the rest of my albums. I will see you soon. Even though I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to just straight up record the next one, but you're probably not going to see the next video immediately. I'm going to like stagger these out. And real quick also, because I forgot to do this when I was doing the original recording of the video, if you have any particularly fun memories or any opinions on any of these albums I've went over, feel free to share in the comments. Are there any albums you have in your collection that you particularly like? Be sure to like and subscribe the video if you want. And you can find me also on Facebook and Instagram as Lustration links if you want to have updates. I don't update a ton, but sometimes it's useful to have them. And I will see everyone in part 2, which should be uploaded, I'm guessing I'll probably upload it a week after this one, give this one some time to sit, then upload the next one, because I recorded both of these together. Anyway, bye!